Hi, welcome to Andersen Opus 33, number 15. This is an articulation study. And as always, I'll play it first, and then we'll go back and we'll talk about it. Here we go. I just tired out at the end. I didn't have enough energy to continue. But as you can tell, it is a very, very, very important test of your articulation stamina. The first goal when you go through this is to see if you can make your tonguing all uniform. It almost doesn't matter what you choose as your articulation. The name of the game is making it all the same. So, like the first time I played through this years ago, I tried to make them as short as possible and pointy, using like a dot, D-O-T articulation. And as you can tell from the key signature, it's very, very difficult to get all of the D flats, or our C sharp enharmonic, our worst note, in tune. If you just go through the whole piece, as you can probably hear in my recording, it's not always focused. And that's one of the major, major concerns when you're tonguing in the middle register, C sharp, D flat in our case. The first note of the whole piece is that horrible note. If you take that to a tuner, 50 cents sharp. So we have to aim the air down. We have to cover the embouchure plate. You don't have to make it that buzzy. I'm just over-exaggerating to show you that you really do need to bring that note into focus. And what tune is that? If you said SpongeBob, you haven't played Symphonic Metamorphosis by Paul Hindemith. But you play the first notes of every group of four so you can hear the hidden melody. And when you play it long, you'll be able to listen more intently to the intonation. Instead of just blowing across, you'll hear. That's why practicing slowly is so important. The better and better you get, the slower and slower you should be practicing. A lot of times when we first start this instrument, we have this thing in the back of our heads, this idea that as you get better, you're supposed to get faster and faster, and it's just the opposite. If you are truly serious about this art, go slower and slower with your metronome. So let's do that. Let's put it on quarter note equals 50. And each 16th note, actually, let's do 16th note equals 50, just so we can really concentrate on uniform articulation. There we go. As you can hear, it's very difficult to get all of the notes the same length, all of the notes the same color, all of the notes very perfectly in tune. It's so difficult, especially when we start to go faster. Then we have a dynamic change, forte for all of it. Did you hear as I went down to the D flat how I was... Maybe you didn't. I was playing too fast. Listen. I have the forte dynamic. Not. It's that serious. If you slow people's recordings down to like 25%, every single time they get to the D flat, it'll be massively out of color, out of tune. So this is not the greatest piece of music in the world. It's not meant to be. Remember, these are studies, guys. So use this as an opportunity to study your sound. Super slow motion. Can you play all of the notes all the same length? Can you play them with the same beginning, middle, and end? That's what that means. Beginning of the note, middle of the note, and the end of the note should be uniform, no matter what pitch you play. Number 2. You have the energy to do it. Do you have the stamina? So being able to go through this piece and do that articulation goal means that you will have the ability to strengthen your tongue to and air to play longer and more difficult pieces. Number 3, dynamic contrast. The beginning is mezzo forte, something that's relaxed, and then show with maximum volume that you don't really increase the intonation. You don't get sharp when you play louder. Rather than just blowing all the way through that with the same intonation, or the same dynamic, I'm sorry. I'm going to play just blowing all the way through the notes, just trying to get all the right notes correctly, which is bad. So if you do that, you might be super proud of yourself. Well, I can play the right notes. Well, who cares if you play the right notes? You wasted however long you practiced an opportunity to get better at the thing we are all weak at, which is consistent articulation. You blew the chance to effectively use your practice time to go from soft mezzo forte dynamic to a forte dynamic and maintain intonation. There's so many things this can help you with if you're humble enough just to slow down. Please, please, please slow down when you do this. If you're doing this for a test for me, you have my permission to do it ultra slow motion. I have all the patience in the world. I will sit there and listen to it. If you think that speed is an issue, I don't care about speed. I want you to use this as an articulation and dynamic exercise. Well, the middle section is pretty. Isn't that so nice with the... like Rimsky-Korsakov or a very early Tchaikovsky. It's so beautiful. I love these colors. It's like being a ballet flutist. I love it. Opera. The good stuff. Okay. Do your best. I do every day of my life. And I'm still working on it. So I expect the same from you. happy practicing. See you later.